And he's just a very natural, instinctive corner, just consistent snap after snap after snap. Good pick for the Miami Dolphins, who have just a variety of needs, but cornerback was one of them.
With the 28th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Caleb Lomu, tackle, Utah.
So it's another bully from Salt Lake City that hears his name called. Fanu was the first one. Lomu now the second Utah player that is taken in round number 1. One of you guys just name checked him.
Look, man, I'm going to say this. I'm the high guy on him. I've known it the entire time. I thought he was a natural left tackle prospect. Nimble, quick feet, balanced body control, all the things that you want to see in pass protection, he excelled at. The issue that you had would be him in the run game. Is he solid enough to move people off the ball? In pass pro, there's no question. He is square. He can shadow box and dance. You talk about easy to redirect. He's dancing bear at the point of attack. He does all of those things that you want to see well. In space, he can move. Athletic. He gets on you. He's sticky. The thing that he's not is what some of those other guys are in terms of moving the furniture.
Yeah.
He doesn't move the furniture. He and the furniture just kind of stalemated. But a really good player. But this leads to more questions than answers in New England.
Oh, I got answers.
We took Will Campbell last year at 4.
I've got
left
answers.
tackle.
We've got a new left tackle. I've got answers. Caleb Lomu is the new left tackle, and Will Campbell's going to go to the right side or maybe down the guard. I mean, look, here's the thing. Caleb Lomu still needs more time. He's still very young. He needs more seasoning. He might start the season as a swing tackle. But when it's done, when it's said and done, the short arm left tackle is going to give way to the more natural, true left tackle, Caleb Lomu.
It's in your scouting report.
It's in your scouting report. It's in my scouting report.
Good evening. Welcome in to the Athletics Podcast. I want to thank everybody for coming in, being here this morning. Hello. How are we today? Welcome in. We are ready to get it underway. The usual fun we have here. I am excited. Very, very excited for this week. I hope you guys are too. And like I said, thank you for coming in. So we're going to start her off hot. We took a look there at the Patriots' new first-round pick, Caleb Lomu. Absolute beast of a big man. We will take a look in a little bit at the rest of the draft picks. But first, there's something I think we need to talk about. You know, we really need to really dig deep on, dive into. And that would be the Mountaineers, baby. Let's go. Good old Mountaineers. Some baseball. I have with me here a fancy little poster. Right here is the Mountaineers' official home schedule for the 2026 season. I am very excited for them to be having such a wonderful year. Opening night, June 7th on a Sunday is opening night, all the way up until Wednesday, July 29th. So about almost 2 months of straight home game baseball from the Mountaineers. Very excited. Very amazing. I just hope everybody can make a game this year. There's roughly at least 15 or so home games. So, hopefully everyone can make one this year, Take your family out, have some fun, really see the new players and the team come to light. I'm excited. I want to go check out a few games myself. I personally am excited to see the Mountaineers this year. I'm hoping for amazing highlight action baseball, what we love to see out of the Mountaineers. So I'm very excited. I hope you are. Mountaineers are expected to have a very, better year than last year. last year was interesting to say the least, not the greatest, but hopefully they can turn it around. Mountaineers expected to do a lot of great things this year. I'm pumped up, but like I said, if you can, you have the opportunity, go take your family, like check it out. Like it's going to be a great summer this year. And the Mountaineers are going to play great. I'm anticipating it to be great. I hope you guys at home are anticipating to see the Mountaineers do well. And so the Mountaineers, like I said, their schedule right here. Got it right here. And I'm ready for it. They open it up by playing against North Shore. Playing North Shore in the opening hitter, the opening night. So that will be a doozy. We are expecting so much, and I am ready for it. Speaking of baseball, though, talk about the Red Sox losing their general manager and a couple other coaches, including their hitting coach, Pete Fasse, and bench coach, Ramon Vasquez. Saying that right? Vasquez and Pete got fired alongside Boston Red Sox manager Alex Cora. Alex Cora has, spoken up about it, about him getting fired. And of course, no surprise, he's not happy. But to be fair, the Red Sox aren't having the season they're hoping for. They're turning it around, though, right now. They're currently 12 and 19. Not a great start, but it's not impossible, obviously. It's very possible that they can turn it around. They can definitely come back from that. So hopefully the Red Sox will see improvement along the way. But Alex Cora getting fired is something that people were, I think, expecting, especially to do with the 2020 sign stealing scandal, and in general just the struggles the Boston Red Sox have been facing for quite some time since their World Series in 2018. So it would be a good, refresher to see someone new, someone who's, more excited, a manager that is ready to do his job, including the other coaches that they hopefully will find new replacements for. And so I hope to see that the Red Sox improve as the season moves forward. And speaking of other teams, the Yankees, I know not a lot of people want to hear it, but the Yankees are doing great. 20 and 11. Fantastic. But again, though, Red Sox can still, it's still early enough in the season. Hell, I mean, the Astros are 11 and 19. They're doing worse. So, it's not like the Red Sox are the worst team in the league right now. And so it's still very possible to recover from the so far not so awesome season they're having. But it's very possible. So hopefully, for the sake of Red Sox fans and in general the Red Sox organization, they can recover from this and find replacements for what they need. And what they need is to start winning. But either way, that is your baseball scandal and fun that's going on. But let's move over, though, before we dig deep into some more of the draft. Let's talk about the basketball NBA playoffs. Also the NHL as well. We have the NHL playoffs still to come. And both series are both a game 5. So far for the NBA, the Thunder have completely swept. What was it? The Hawks they played against? No, the Hawks are playing against the Knicks. I'm sorry. It's the Trail. No, not Trail. No, I'm sorry. I'm so wrong. Who? Anyway, though, so the Lakers and Rockets, though, are facing off. Rockets secured a win last night to, not completely eliminate them in Game 5. And same with the Magic. Well, actually, no. The Pistons actually won. Sorry, the Pistons. Actually, this is a very funny series to talk about. How the Pistons are like just barely holding on against the Magic, who the Magic are the lowest seed right now in this, playoff so far. And yet they're about to beat the number 1 seeded Pistons in a very upset. And that's been pretty funny to watch so far. That has been a game on its own. And so, to clarify, the Thunder and the Suns, by the way. The Thunder and Suns played. The Thunder swept them 4-0, knocked them out. And so far, like I said, the Rockets last night secured their win, so they're not completely getting knocked out just yet, but the Lakers still lead 3-2. LA got Austin Reeves back, but yet still, even coming off, honestly, he did a lot better than I expected coming off an injury. So Austin Reeves came back, played well, but overall as a team, the Lakers didn't play very well at all. And so they lost last night, but Rockets will host the Lakers tomorrow at 10 o'clock. The Raptors and Cavaliers. The Cavaliers won in a close bout, 125-120, to give them the lead to 3-2 against the Raptors. The Trailblazers and Spurs faced off. The Spurs put them away on Tuesday, 4-1 series against the Trailblazers. The Boston Celtics lost on Tuesday to the 76ers in a close bout. Well, not really. Close bout, 113-97. Sorry, Boston, but hey, Boston still leads the series though, so I still expect them to close the series out strong. Timberwolves and Nuggets. Nuggets getting the win as well on Monday, securing, them not getting knocked out in Game 5. So that puts them 3-2. Minnesota leads that series. And then the Hawks and Knicks. Knicks won on Tuesday, 126-97 in a large series to take the lead. Knicks are 3-2 as well. So NBA playoffs, tight wrap there. A lot of heavy hitters. Also, same with the hockey series as well. It's like a lot of 3-2s, a lot of ties right now. Like Tuesday, Bruins beat the Sabres to not get knocked out in Game 5. So Buffalo, though, still leads 3-2. The Minnesota Wilds beat the Stars to take the lead 3-2 in Game 5. The Oilers secured getting knocked out by the Ducks in a 4-1 on Tuesday as well, but the Ducks still lead against the Oilers 3-2. The Canadiens beat the Lightning, but the Lightning still continue with the lead 3-2. Flyers knocked out the Penguins, though, Pittsburgh Penguins, 4-2 yesterday. The Golden Knights beat the Mammoths in a close bout, with the Golden Knights continuing the lead 3-2, and so forth. Tonight at 7:30, the Stars and the Wilds plays, and the Oilers and the Ducks play at 10 o'clock. Those are the two games we have tomorrow, so we could see, honestly, it's very possible we could see two teams go home tomorrow, but something tells me there's a chance that one of these teams is going home tomorrow, and so we'll see who it is. And so, like I said, both the playoffs in the NBA and the hockey world right now are fire. Absolutely just great, intense. a lot of surprises. Like I said, the Magic, for example, over in the NBA, them having the lead on the Pistons has been a very big shock, I would say. I don't think anybody was expecting that from them. I don't think anybody was expecting the heavy hitting that was the Magic. And either way, honestly, if the Detroit can make a comeback and, win that series, that would be huge. But at the same time, it's also sad because it's like, how do you let the Magic, the Magic, they beat the Hornets, and now they're beating the Pistons. It's like, I don't know what the Pistons are doing, but they can't lose the series. If they do, it's just going to be hilarious. So, with that being said, though, there is one sudden, issue that I realized I had made, and something we do got to take a look at, and that is over in the football world. Before we talk about the draft, we got to talk about something I talked about a couple weeks ago, and that is the Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel. And the scandal with him and the New York Times reporter. Obviously, that spiraled a lot more than I expected when I last talked about it. When I talked about it first, I thought it was just going to be something that would be, pushed under the water. But it has become the NFL's biggest topic as of the last month, without a doubt. There's a lot of questions, but the biggest one is that, Drake May, the quarterback of the Patriots, and pretty much the entirety locker room of the Patriots team is behind their coach, saying on social media, we love our coach, we support our coach. And so Drake May and the rest of his team has been showing their love for their coach, even with him going through what the NFL likes to call counseling. And so while he's going through all this counseling, there's been a lot of questions of will he be returning as the head coach position? It looks very likely. And his team is very behind him and supports him. So that's very important. But obviously, he has talked about, Mike has personally said on a recent interview that he wants to focus on being a better man moving forward and being more forward with his front office and the team, which is important, but still doesn't change the fact, Mike, you screwed up, man. You screwed up. You got yourself in trouble. You got yourself caught hanging out with another married woman. It's not good, man. Not good. But either way, though, with that moving forward, it's like we're just going to have to continue, I guess, to see what happens. What the Patriots are expecting to see from Mike Vrabel, which is better, obviously. Like, they expect him to be better, but again, it seems like, they're still going to return him with open arms. Part of me, though, expects there to also be a possible likeliness that he might get let go because of, the way the scandal is looking bad on the Patriots organization as a whole. It looks bad on their part. It just doesn't look great on their end. And so with that, though, we are going to talk about the NFL draft. I think for today, we're just going to talk about the first round. I think next week we probably talk about the, some of the picks from the rest of the draft that were standouts. But let's just quickly go down the list together. The obvious was that obviously Mendoza went to the Raiders. That was they weren't even considering it. It took them only 2 minutes to make that decision. They already knew for days. They already knew they wanted this kid. So that was obvious there. But then things get a little interesting. With the second pick, the Jets went with Texas Tech David Bailey, which huge, obviously. But honestly, I won't lie. I expected Arvell Reese to go second over David Bailey, but David Bailey got it. And another surpriser as well is the Cardinals, instead of going for defense, they ended up going with Jermaine Love, the running back, the big noticeable running back out of Notre Dame. That is huge. But then there's still a lot of questions for the Cardinals of like, this is a huge pick, but it's like there's still so much the Cardinals need to fix. And I think a running back, probably wasn't what they really needed, but they went with it. So they got Jermaine Love. And also surpriser is the Tennessee Titans going with Carnell Tate out of Ohio State. I expected them to pick Reese at this point. I was like, okay, Reese is still here. Obviously, the Titans are going to do that. But no, they actually did. I think, it's safe to say that, I think they definitely stole this pick from the Giants because I'm pretty positive that Giants wanted Carnell Tate. But looks like he's going with the Tennessee Titans with the 4th pick. But then with the 5th pick, Arvell Reese, as I expected to go easily in the top 5. I didn't expect him to fall to 5, though. I thought he was going to be 2 or 3. So that was definitely a surprise. The Chiefs also went with a good but surprising pick was Mansour Delane, cornerback out of LSU. Huge pick, but I just didn't expect them to pick him up. I figured they would have gone, honestly, I thought they would have gone with Sonny Styles or, Spencer Fano to protect, or even, Francis or Spencer. I kind of expected them to go offensive line to protect, Patrick Mahomes, considering Patrick Mahomes had a, mediocre career or season last year. This year was definitely a mediocre season for the Chiefs. They didn't even make the playoffs. So I honestly would have expected them to go offensive line, but defense is what they need to fill. So Mansour Delane was a huge pick for them. Number 7 was Sonny Styles falling to the Washington, Commanders, and that's huge. The Washington Commanders getting Sonny Styles is huge for them. So the Ohio State linebacker is going out with them. Followed up with the Saints picking Jordy Tyson at Arizona State. Another huge one. I expected to go in the top 10. Good pick for the Saints, honestly. They could use the wide receivers, honestly, so that's a good pick for them overall. Honestly, the Saints could have taken anything, and it would have improved their team overall. With the 9th pick, the Browns went with Spencer Fano, though. The Browns went with Spencer Fano, and then followed up with Spencer was Francis. Francis, the Miami offensive tackle, went with the 10th pick with the Giants. So both, honestly, the Giants went well, honestly, with my opinion. Offensive lineman and then linebacker, can't go wrong with that 2 combo, especially when they're both really good. With the 11th pick, a surprising, honestly, I expected Caleb Downs to go in the first, top 10. I mean, he did fall to only 11, so definitely still where I expected him to be. But the Cowboys getting him, that's a huge move for the Cowboys. So Cowboys getting Caleb Downs out of Ohio State, strong safety, huge move on their part. Miami going with the Proctor out of Alabama, offensive tackle in the 12th pick. That's a good one as well. But the 13th pick, though, was a surprising one. The Rams using their first-round pick on Ty Simpson, quarterback out of Alabama. So back-to-back Alabama picks. But I don't think a lot of Rams fans were very excited about this one. I mean, Ty Simpson is very good, but I just don't think the Rams were expecting to use their 13th pick in the draft on a quarterback, especially because there's so many still good picks that they probably could have benefited from. But, I mean, still, though, he is a very high prospect quarterback with a lot of potential. And so I think Rams fans will appreciate this, hopefully, in the future. Moving on with the 14th pick, the Baltimore Ravens went with Iona, Penn State offensive guard. A really good move for them, honestly, something the Chiefs should have done, which is protecting Lamar Jackson. So, very huge move on Baltimore's behalf. Miami's edge rusher, Reuben Bain Jr., went with the 15th pick with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I would say the Buccaneers actually got very lucky with this pick. I think Bain Jr. is a really good edge in this draft class, and I think him falling into the Bucs defense is going to be big. Like, you got to think about it. It's like they've got a really good already, like, edge tackle kind of like defense going on as it is, and now you're just giving them more power on defense. So Buccaneers defense is going to be very surprising this year. I think they're going to be very good. The Jets, with the 16th pick, got Oregon's tight end, Kenyon Saquid. Kenyon Saquid, Oregon tight end. That's a surprising pick. A good one, though. Don't get me wrong. Very good tight end, but a surprising pick for sure. Also, the Lions went with a surprising but good pick, in my opinion. Blake Miller, offensive tackle out of Clemson. That's a surprising pick, but it is going to boost their offensive line to protect Jared Goff, so I think it's a very good pick. Caleb Banks went with the Vikings in the 18th pick out of Florida. Then moving on, we got the Panthers, who selected offensive tackle out of Georgia, Monroe Freeling. And then another surprising but fun pick was, I think it's safe to say that the Eagles definitely did this on purpose to screw with the Steelers, but the Eagles picked Malachi Lemon out of USC, wide receiver. That's a good wide receiver. And so Philly's just got a good wide receiver. So, Jalen Hurts is going to have a lot of weapons coming into this year. So, huge move on their part. So, Pittsburgh ended up going with the standout offensive tackle out of Arizona State, Max, big boy offensive tackle. That's a surprising one, but it will be beneficial for them. More protection to Aaron Rodgers, which is more important. Well, assuming that Aaron Rodgers even plays, because right now Aaron Rodgers isn't even sure if he wants to play. The Chargers in this 22nd pick went with Miami's edge rusher, Menzidor, out of Miami. So big pick, honestly, for the Chargers, just beefing up that defense. I think, though, the Cowboys wanted but weren't able to get him, but they were able to trade up. The Cowboys traded up to get UFC's edge rusher, Lawrence. Huge move on their end with the 23rd pick in the draft. Then moving up with the 24th pick in the draft, wide receiver out of Texas A&M, KC. KC is actually a good wide receiver that I expected him to go top 15. So, honestly, him falling back to 24 is a good pick for the Browns. But I expected him to go a lot sooner, honestly. Moving up the line at the 25th pick was the Bears with Dylan. They got Dylan out of Oregon, strong safety. Huge move on that one. Another surprisingly good one. 6 foot, 201 pounds. So there you go, Chicago Bears. Following it up with the 26th pick, the Texans went with offensive guard Kenlin Ruledge out of Georgia Tech. That's a good pick for this far back, honestly. So Texans moving up. The Miami Dolphins went with Chris Johnson out of San Diego State, cornerback. That's a good pick. As we saw, 28th pick, the Utah offensive tackle, Caleb Lawman. I'm sorry, I'm butchering his last name. I'm sorry. But offensive tackle who also I think is going to be very good as well. I mean, obviously the Patriots didn't really need him exactly. Like they probably could have gone with defense or the guy who fell down, we'll talk about here in a second, but Omar Cooper Jr., who went to the Jets, that's someone I thought honestly probably would have gone to the Patriots at this point in time, but they went with offensive tackle. And the Chiefs, with the 29th pick in the draft, got Peter Woods out of Clemson, defensive tackle. So they're having, beefing up their defense. So they're really defensive focused so far in the first round. So good move on the Chiefs' behalf. Like I said, with the 30th pick, Omar Cooper Jr., Indiana, fell to the 30th. Like I said, I honestly expected the Patriots to pick him up. I thought the Patriots would have picked up Omar Cooper Jr. at this point. But still, though, honestly, giving Drake May more protection is not a bad thing, like in my opinion. And so, we'll see. We'll see if that pays off in the future for this coming season. At the 31st pick, surprising, I didn't expect him to fall this far back either, was Keldrick Folk at Auburn. I expected him to go around 20, but hey, 31 though. So Tennessee Titans got, a wide receiver, and then they got a really good edge, in my opinion. For how late in the draft, I'd say, like I said, I expected him to go 11 picks ago. So good move on the Titans' behalf. And then with the 32nd pick in the draft, the final pick, the Seahawks, the Super Bowl Seahawks, picked up Jadarian Price at a Notre Dame running back, which a lot of people have very mixed feelings on. But as a Seahawks fan, I personally loved this pick. I also thought we filled, our missing pieces with the second and third pick as well. But overall, a lot of people expected us to trade this pick, for more draft picks. But at the end of the day, it's like, I think it was nice that we were able to get him. And like I had said, I expected us to get him. Losing Kenneth Walker to the Chiefs was a very big loss for us, the MVP of the Super Bowl. And so him moving on to the Chiefs is something that impacted the Seattle Seahawks offense. So being able to replace, with Zach Charbonnet out for half the season, it's safe to say, this was a solid move overall from the Seahawks. And with that being said, that was the first round of the draft. I think, like I said, I'm going to save the second and third round pick for later on. But yeah, that is the NFL draft. And with that being said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me today, being here. Weather is a little funky. Weather's a little funky, but we'll manage today. Last couple days have been beautiful. I don't know if you've gotten outside. I've gotten to, get outside, so it's been great. Weather has been, top notch all week up until today. And so I am very excited to hopefully have a more warmer, less cloudy and rainy day. The Price is Right. Yes, exactly. As a Seahawks fan, the new slogan is going to be The Price is Right. Thank you so much. Like I said, this has been the Athletics Podcast. Thank you so much. You all have a great rest of your Thursday. And I will see you next time